Elon Musk is supporting Ukraine against Russia. Now, China is worried the US military will use his technology against them. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. If you like America Uncovered, make sure you're subscribed, because YouTube has been secretly unsubscribing people. And since YouTube also hasn't been notifying people of new episodes, check back every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday for new episodes. Billionaire Elon Musk is developing new technologies, ones that can be used in war. And Ukraine is the perfect testing ground. If Musk's technologies can work in a war zone, think how much more they can do in developed countries during peacetime. Cash money, baby. Wait, this is Elon Musk we're talking about. Doge money, baby. For example, Starlink, a satellite communication system run by Elon Musk's SpaceX. Back when Russia first invaded Ukraine in February, Ukraine asked Elon Musk to help by providing Ukraine with Starlink stations. And Elon Musk did. According to Musk, SpaceX sent 15,000 Starlink internet kits connected to thousands of low-orbiting satellites to Ukraine. This was a huge help for Ukraine, because Russia tried to destroy and block internet connection during its invasion, meaning Ukrainian soldiers wouldn't have been able to see Moon Knight on Disney+. Wow, Russia really is evil. But with Starlink in Ukraine, the internet is still up. The technology has allowed Ukrainian soldiers to communicate their military resistance and their military action, such as facilitating drone strikes against Russian tanks in the field. Starlink has helped ordinary Ukrainians as well. They've been able to keep in contact with the world and get the help they need. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has praised Elon Musk's Starlink for saving Ukraine from Russian propaganda, although it didn't save Ukrainians from being confused and underwhelmed by Moon Knight. But with Musk's technology in the hands of the underdog, authoritarians are getting worried, especially China. Chinese scientists are calling for the Chinese military to be able to destroy Elon Musk's Starlink satellites. They're also thinking of ways to take down the entire network. After all, losing even a couple dozen satellites barely puts a dent in Starlink, which spans thousands of satellites. Well, if Starlink is anything like my internet provider, all they would need to do to make it stop working is nothing, because Comcast is absolute trash. The Chinese Communist Party is worried about Starlink because they want to invade Taiwan, and they don't want to make the same mistakes Russia is making in Ukraine. That's why Elon Musk's Starlink aid to Ukraine is triggering scrutiny in China over US military links. I guess the Chinese regime hasn't managed to steal SpaceX's technology and make cheap copies just yet. But in many ways, China's right to worry about Elon Musk's ties with the US military. And it's not just because of Starlink. Turns out, there's a whole lot Elon Musk can do for the US military. I'll explain after the break. Welcome back. Authoritarian regimes like China are afraid of Elon Musk's space technologies. They're particularly afraid of what the US military can do with them. Satellite technology has a lot to offer, but the US military wants more than just that. It wants to explore using militarized versions of SpaceX's Starship rockets, which would be a lot more helpful than militarized Cybertrucks. Normally, if you want to get supplies and men from one part of the globe to another fast, you use a plane, like the C-17 cargo transport. But these things can take hours to get to their destination, and tests involving teleportation haven't been too encouraging. According to U.S. Navy Vice Admiral D. Mewborn, for the past 75 years or so, we have been constrained to around 40,000 feet altitude and 600 miles per hour in our very fastest method of logistics delivery, airlift. So why not go faster? In the words of the guy who tested the teleportation pods, must go faster, must go faster. Rockets could solve that problem. Back in 2020, the US military wanted SpaceX to explore rapid space transportation. The goal would be to deliver cargo to anywhere in the world in no more than an hour. That would require an average speed of around 9,000 miles per hour, or an Amazon Prime Platinum Plus membership. The Intercept recently obtained documents through a Freedom of Information Act request that detail the relationship between the U.S. military and SpaceX. They show that the Pentagon has 3 potential uses in mind for SpaceX rockets. The first 2 uses are focused on quick delivery of supplies. It makes sense. If war were to break out with China, we'd need to get supplies moving fast with the least logistical effort possible, especially in remote Pacific islands. And we can't rely on Amazon for that, since they're definitely Team China. The third use involves another kind of delivery. The report describes this as a rapid theater direct delivery capability from the U.S. to an African bear base that would provide extremely important in supporting the Department of State's mission in Africa. Essentially like a flash mob, but for war. Man, I thought flash mobs were bad enough already. This could include using a rocket-deployed quick reaction force. In other words, a rapidly deployed armed unit dropped from rockets. Think Starship Troopers or Space Marines dropping from space. The idea is that we'd prevent another Benghazi, a time when militants attacked the U.S. Embassy in Libya and a nearby CIA base in 2012. And more importantly, it would prevent another Benghazi hearing, which made everyone mad and accomplished nothing. Although I guess making everyone mad and doing nothing is kind of in Congress's job description. As cool as it would be to see rockets flying around the world with supplies and people, there are several problems. And no, not just that. For one, these kinds of rocket launches are expensive. Elon Musk is confident that the cost of SpaceX Starship rocket launches will go down to less than $10 million within 2 to 3 years. Less than $10 million in 2 to 3 years. What does it cost now? But that still dwarfs the cost of flying a C-17 cargo plane halfway around the world. It'll probably take decades before rockets become cost-effective, even for the U.S. military. Another big issue is how launching those rockets would affect the U.S. diplomatically. Would countries really be okay with SpaceX military rockets dropping out of space onto their territories? How would we feel if other countries did the same? I know I wouldn't want to see Canadian rockets flying over America. I don't even like Canadian geese, and they're just as dangerous to planes. This also touches on the issue of legality. Things get murky with what regulations apply to SpaceX. Even the U.S. military report admits that. There still isn't any clear legal distinction between air and space, and this affects important stuff like safety regulations and responsibility. We don't even know what to call it. Countries have their own airspace, but do they have their own space? If they did, then China would call dibs on the Milky Way like they were calling shotgun for the front seat. Technically, SpaceX would get a pass working with the U.S. military under international law, as long as it isn't using weapons of mass destruction. But how would other states react if they see rockets coming at high speed toward them? That isn't rhetorical. The answer is bad. Real bad. Like, we're going to have to update the history books bad. This could raise the risk of accidental conflict. We're entering uncharted space with this. Like literally uncharted space. But who knows what the U.S. military will eventually do with Elon Musk's SpaceX. Let's just hope the rockets they do end up launching don't cause some disaster. And that their windows are more sturdy than the Cybertrucks. So what do you think? Do you think the U.S. military should be launching materials or troops with Elon Musk's rockets? Let us know in the comments below. And we could not make this show without support from viewers like you. You can help us for as little as $1 per episode at patreon.com/AmericaUncovered. Or on our exclusive censorship-free social media platform, AmericaUncovered.locals.com. The links to both are in the description below. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching America Uncovered.